Assembly Compostudio for Thursday night. We have plenty of guests today. We have Visu, we have Base Cadet, we have Solarius, Aiming, PS Enough, and Truck. You can now unmute yourself, all.
Hello, everybody.
No, Truck is not unmuted. Truck is unmutable. I think you have to do it, Remina, for him.
I can't because admin we can't unmute people. We can just mute people.
now Truck has to figure out how to unmute himself.
Oh my God, it's a yes button there.
This is starting great.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry. But there's this mic icon somewhere, and just press it, and then you will be unmuted. Okay. Today we had plenty of compos. We started with the streaming music competition and got to the themed photo competition. And then we had also some real-time fun with Real World Pico-8 and also Shortfilm. So, I think this was an awesome second day of compos. How did you feel about it? Let's start with Visu.
Well, there was a lot of good stuff. I enjoyed a lot of the music entries. There was some things that reminded me of Pennsylvania. There was some cyberpunkish synth stuff, all kinds of heavy metal kind of sounds. So I always enjoy those.
We're having feedback here.
Yeah, there's feedback.
I think it's hilarious because it changed places.
Okay.
But try now? Yeah, it was him.
Yeah. Is it better?
Busy, you were saying.
Yeah, so a lot of good heavy metal entries, cyberpunk sounds, Castlevania kind of chip tunes almost with some like orchestral organ sounds, a lot of interesting stuff there I enjoyed. And of course, in the real times, I have to be biased. That was one of the best Pico compos we've seen so far. Even my compo filler at the end, I think we rounded up with that quite well, that we got 3 good entries there. So that was the highlight to me, at least. How about you, PS?
I kind of missed the streaming. The first show with Truck Silence. Armageddon is here.
I think Truck, you can just join again.
It's going to be the compo block, the Compostudio. We're going to be less interrupted by Truck ever. About me, I missed the streaming, unfortunately. Family business. I did see the themed photos afterwards, and there were some pretty decent entries. Not as much as I would expect from Assembly, but there were a couple of them that were really good looking, in my humble opinion. I like red discs the better, I think, overall. So that was a pretty decent compo, and the shorter ones that we had now near the end, well, I'm saying shorter because all of them had not that many entries, but they were all pretty decent. The short film is always kind of strange at Assembly. Sometimes you have some very cool animated stuff. Other times you only have like house videos kind of stuff. This one, I think, was dominated by karaokes, which was okay, I guess. So I like those 2 entries the best. And there was the invitation for Hogmanay Party as well, which Reality 404 is organizing later in the year. That was also cool. I really like the Real Wild compo was really cool. I think all of the entries were quite good. The Excel thing, the watch thing, the free DOS 1K. I think my favorite on that compo is the watch one, but I don't know. Truck is showing the shader Royale thing.
I think, Truck, you are not muted anymore, so you can speak.
Try, Truck.
Yeah, but that would have interrupted PS.
We can't have that at a Compostudio. Not at Assembly, for crying out loud. Anyways, I'm only left talking about the Pico-8 ones. I think I like all 3 of them. I like the effect on Karki 8 very much. That sort of felt like a fountain of particles, but moving. I really like that particular effect of the demo. I think Racer Beam is probably going to win, but that's just my biased opinion. So, Truck, tell us what you think about the compos.
They were very nice.
They were very
Okay.
nice.
Oh, really? I can't really speak on the Pico-8 too much because of running over here to try. I was watching on a much larger screen, and then came over here to get on this, so I didn't actually see that. And my notes on the music stuff are over at the other computer. So I had a great deal of fun listening to the music compo. It began a bit samey. I actually noted that some of the tracks at the very beginning seemed to be just slowed down remixes of tunes I couldn't place. But then it just sort of kicked up a notch and became, once again, why we have, assembly music compos tend to just always be really high quality, especially toward the end. You just get some great production in there. And we had numerous styles that we normally don't hear in assembly compos. Not so much dragon metal this year. We did have some, but it wasn't like 7 or 8 entries of that, which I'm fine with if we do have that.
I think
but it was
online
cool.
influence to that. I mean, assembly being physical, has a lot more Finnish people present, and Finnish people and metal, there's like sort of a symbiosis going on there. So maybe being online, you have more
you might
international
be right.
entries.
There might have been some. We did have more international entries, and there might have been some folks that said, I'm just going to wait until I have an actual audience that I know is going to be the audience. Because one of the things about assembly and the voting is different from other parties is assembly's audience is a younger audience that aren't necessarily in tune with all the things that
more
we've been doing
gamers,
for
less
several years.
sceners.
Yes.
I'm not putting it that way. I'm saying, because remember, at assembly, you always have folks go to the front or go in front of the huge screen and shut things down and watch. It's not as if, that noise is on that I'm not going to watch. People actually go to see it. So you actually have a big audience, but it's a different type of audience.
Yeah, it's different type of audience, and it's very different. Assembly is its own thing, and that's one thing cool about it. But I think this year when we are online, it's even different. But could you Aiming and Paiskedet tell what they think about the compos?
Well, my favorite of the compos was the Pico-8 competition because all of the entries were pretty solid. It looked like there wasn't any filler entries at all. And the music compo had quite a lot of genres in the set that was played on the screen, and was surprised that there weren't that many of the photo entries in the theme photo competition, and some of the entries were quite difficult to understand how they fit the theme that was Hack the Planets.
Yeah, I can elaborate on
I thought the theme was light. I didn't know what the theme was. I was just looking at the photos, and
I had no idea.
All of them thought it was light.
Yeah, theme was Blink.
Okay. I think I read from the slides that
the first entry was called Hack the Planet, I think.
Okay,
that's true. That's true, though. Yes.
Now I have to vote again.
I think Hack the Planet would have been a fantastic theme, considering 25th anniversary of Hackers was like 3 weeks ago.
I was going to say Hack the COVID, but okay, Hack the Planet also works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how about Aiming and Solarius?
Yeah, so you started talking about the photo entry Hack the Planet, and I can tell you quite a bit about that because that was actually my entry. I think the photo entry could have used more stuff. I know there are amazing photographers in the organizers and amongst my friends who could have put a photo there, but I guess it's just the online doesn't draw that so much photographers to the site like the actual physical assembly event goes to the site. So there's more participation in that, and maybe they think that they don't get enough visibility in the online event or something like that.
I wonder if the delay also played a bit of a part for assembly being delayed. People sort of lost track that it was happening and not really planned things for the compos.
Yeah, that could be it. Apparently, the musicians were okay with the online event.
Musicians make a music like every day. I make a new music, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the music didn't have theme.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow. No, not
there is a
tomorrow,
fast
but
music
Saturday.
compo.
Fast music had a genre set. It was waltz, so 3/4 of the time signature.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be interesting.
We have also like acid music compo coming. It's kind of themed compo as well.
What if you combine the acid and 3/4?
Acid waltz. That's gonna be a new genre. We should do that.
Let's do a collab on that.
Sounds like a Candy Raver's wedding. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Solarius, you are actually organizer of the Real Wild and Shortfilm competition. How did you like the competitions this year?
And in fact, that's the reason that I can only comment these two competitions.
You've been really busy.
Yeah, I didn't have time to check the others. But unfortunately, we didn't have much entries. But that's normal, thinking that this is different time of the year, and this is different concept and whatnot. So, and I believe that some people really want to see their entries on the screen. So that may be one reason. Of course, that doesn't really have any basis because internet can cover much more than just one party hall could cover in terms of audience. But yeah, so the Real Wild was only 3 entries, but those were really great, I think, because there were many different kind of entries from 1K FreeDOS entry and a watch, not a smartwatch, a watch from 1995, and then Excel. So that was great.
Not the first Excel demo, but still an Excel demo. I think it's the first Excel demo that takes advantage of CSS being built into Excel now.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
And why does Excel have CSS? What do you need CSS? I mean,
why not?
Other than making demos. I mean, okay, yeah, that's cool, but
to make better presentations, of course.
Does Excel have a canvas?
I don't think so.
Use shaders
on a cell, I think.
And we made a PowerPoint demo in 2010, so that was also VBA. So that's quite the Office platform is quite rich because of VBA. Yes. But yeah, then we have the short film. I really liked the songs, both of them. And yeah, it was great to have. I think that the SBA part probably that would have needed more context on assembly short film culture that they are really aware of because they participate each year. So
yes,
they are really aware of the culture, but yeah, I think only a person that is aware of the short film culture of assembly can really enjoy the jokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, great.
I really enjoyed the jump in sudden production value when the VHS tape came into view, and suddenly they had 3D effects going. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a nice touch.
That was good.
As we are showing random things, so why not?
I guess it makes the connection between all the short films of assembly, because sometimes you have a lot of homemade videos, and other times you have like these 3D animations that are very high value. So I guess it connects the entire world of the assembly short film kind of stuff.
I think so.
Yeah, I have to say that the scene is a Battlefield made me cry, and I think like PSN Aiming was here to kind of.
It's okay, Rimina. We'll have live parties again eventually sometime. Don't worry about it. COVID will eventually go away. We'll get a vaccine. It's okay. But yeah, I guess it capitalized a lot on the nostalgia feeling of that. All demo sceners are sort of missing the real demo parties right now. We've been missing them for already the summer, but it doesn't seem to go away. We're like on the third wave or something, so it's getting darker. But yeah. Oh yeah, props up or 1 minute, 10 seconds of silence for Ultrasid, who passed away, I think yesterday. So yeah, love to him. And the condolences to the family. And about the other entries that we saw, I really like Data Nomination. I like the vibe of the whole thing. I was hoping that they would start doing a para dance thing at some point, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I really like the Japanese vibe of it all.
You know what a Data Nomi is?
Yeah.
No, that it actually has like a special meaning. I thought it was just like dominating your data in some way.
It's like a vocational school you can take. And basically, you become like a junior of datanomics. I actually once. I went.
Yeah, me too.
That's my only school I ever went to, actually.
Datanomics.
Datanomics.
That's the only graduation that I had was Datanomy also, and it's low-level vocational degree, so that's why it's part of the joke here in
It would be like the perfect school if you wanted to be middle management in IT or something like that. Like, so not like a high-level guy, but like a middle-level guy.
So basically, me and Visu have a degree that we can use Excel.
Yeah.
So you should make an Excel demo. Like, really, collab on that. I want to see that.
Okay. I would like
Next
to say
year.
one thing about the 1K entry. We had to move to Real World, which was the real-time ray tracing one for FreeDOS. So
Yeah, I was wondering why didn't you just include it on the 1K compo and say that it's for FreeDOS?
because our rules explicitly said that the only allowed platforms are Windows and Linux. So either we change the rules while the party has already started, or we change it next year. And usually
then everybody else would complain.
Next year.
Yes.
So I would have never thought somebody would release something like that on 1K, but okay, I guess we have to support those now.
I was wondering why the 1K intro was in the reward compo instead of the 1K intro compo.
Yeah, so that's the reason.
Yes.
Because the rules explicitly didn't allow it.
They say that PC and old school platforms are allowed.
And the reason why it wasn't in old school was that it wasn't really old school because it used SSE instructions. So it needed a modern CPU, but it was still made for FreeDOS. So that's why it wasn't part of old school neither.
Yeah. So
Extra points to Tomcat of Abaddon for breaking the rules.
But you can release an old school intro in Intro Compose too. Yeah. You can, if you want to.
But this
it has to. But it has to comply our old school rules or platforms. So
it must be old school and it must not use new school CPUs.
Or then it must run on new school. So
the real spirit of demo scene is making what you want and not what the rules tell you to make. So extra points for
there's always a category that can fit.
Yeah, that's true. As it's shown, it's just weird that it's not on the other ones. But hey, if it's allowed,
we also check with Tomcat to make sure, like, if postpone or release in another combo, and that's what was chosen. So we went with the other combo.
Yes.
So they made the choice.
I'm really happy that happened because.
I think
that was really cool. Okay, like. The ray tracing was good, and it was like fast, stupidly fast. So and high resolution. So really cool, and music as well. So good 1K. I don't know anything about FreeDOS, but that looked pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Well, I know now because I spent 2 days with it.
Okay. So yeah, that smartwatch demo, is that the oldest smartwatch platform we've seen in the demo scene so far? I think it is. I haven't seen anything that is even comparable to that kind of era of smartwatches.
I didn't.
There was a phone
that
demo
there
on
was
some
a
Russian
smartwatch
parties,
Yeah.
which is kind of
done
similar.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that there was smartwatch done like 1995.
Yeah. With Microsoft branding, that was the surprising part. What?
Really?
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
the
Microsoft Timex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Microsoft did a programmable watch in collaboration with one of the watchmakers. Was it Casio or what was it? I didn't get that. Or is it
Well, it says Timex on the watch. I don't know if that's...
Okay, so Timex and Microsoft. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently you could transfer data to it by flashing the CRT monitor to it.
Wow.
So it has like a photodiode that reads that.
Must be pretty slow.
That is amazing.
Just transmitting the demo is a demo in itself, all the flashing going on.
So
Yes.
Is it 50 bytes per second or?
I don't know the details, but
That's definitely one of the most esoteric platforms in the scene so far, next to that phone demo from Russia. That phone demo still takes the cake on that.
Yeah.
I'd like to still talk a bit about music competition because we, like all you pointed out, we had lots of different genres on music, and it was really like nice listening experience and something fresh. We had the entry level Sähköperkele, which was the Finnish metal thing, but then there was like this Quando vier a primavera. I don't know how you should pronounce it.
Quando viene primavera.
Okay.
When spring comes.
Which was really, really refreshing, something really different. And
I'm assuming it's from Genio, but I have no clue.
I'm 100% sure it was from Genio. I mean, it's either Genio or Evil, and it's way more Genio than Evil.
There are other people in the world who could compose that music, but I don't think there are many active Portuguese musicians in the scene.
Only those two guys would do it. Only those two. That's it. Period. No, I'm 100% sure it's Genio. If otherwise,
could also been a Brazilian musician.
Well, basically, when I sent Genio the congratulations, so when I sent Genio the congratulations and he said thank you, I'm assuming that's because he did it. Anyway, so
something else, you never know.
but it's drum and bass. It's and that's the thing that tells me that it's really Genio is. Yes, that's Genio trying to do drum and bass. That's Genio trying to break out of his shell, which is of doing jazz all the time, which is awesome.
He doesn't have an own genre. You guys know him more because he can play all instruments, but he composes music on demand. He does all sorts of music genres. He's a properly trained musician who knows how to read and write all sorts of different styles of music, which is an awesome thing. And he always undermines himself, like, no, I'm not a real musician. What the fuck, man? Got like 20 years of training. You can play anything. Shut the fuck up. You make great music. Shut up.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it was great to have him. He has physically attended assembly before. So I know he wanted to support Party, and I know he's thrilled to death that his selection didn't get pre-selected.
I think I met him it was 2005 or 2006.
Yeah, he was there in 2005. I was there with him.
Yeah.
But there was also different, like, there was this Player 2 also, which like chiptune kind of thing.
Yeah, it went from chiptune into it wasn't traditional chiptune. It didn't stick with just the chiptune stuff. It evolved into sort of melodic brawler, side scroller, awesome background music for a game that should be made.
It's the chiptune metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I heard quite a bit of stuff that might have got an inspiration from Machina Supremacy in that song.
Yeah.
Most likely.
That came up in the chat a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't hear any Sid in it, so I think that it's not necessarily Machina Supremacy, but chip metal. There are a couple bands that do chip metal.
Yeah.
And
It's pokey metal, I guess.
yeah, pokey metal.
Pokey metal. Okay. I learned a new word.
Yeah.
Also, there was this one, like, returning borrowed bits that was really chill entry.
Which number
And
was that one?
it was number 7, like right in the middle, chill down part of the combo.
It was a little chiptune as well.
I guess
Yeah, one of the difficulties that you run into with when you have such bombastic tunes in the compo is sometimes, and this is where it's good. My product said that he was going to try to get the compo to run again somewhere else and get it streamed, because we did have some audio problems. And mad props to the guys running the stuff. They did try to make it as good as it is, but to be fair, you never go and mess with the audio while the compo is running. That is a very good way to just kill everything and then not be able to get it back. But one of the problems with bombastic stuff, in the compo is some of the stuff that is chilled or flowing, or is something you really would like to listen to again. You don't remember it immediately after the compo. And I remember writing down some stuff that was like, yes, I'm going to need to listen to this particular track again. And that's probably one of them.
Yes,
but
because
right now I just can't place it.
Yes, I kind of remember that this would be one of those tracks that kind of easily, just because the combo was so amazing, it kind of easily just kind of, and that's why I wanted to mention it. But overall, it was really, really high quality music combo, I think.
Now, there were some darkwave and retrowave songs that I don't particularly remember hearing at assembly music composed before this year.
Yes, so big shout out for the musicians who participated this combo.
And for reaching out and trying different genres and putting that together and taking a chance for it. That's really cool.
Yes, please do it. Do it more. We want this. This was awesome.
Yes.
And also what comes to the other combos that we had, like, even though we didn't have that many entries, all the entries were really good.
Yeah, we didn't really have any compo filler. Despite the fact that the watch said it was compo filler, it really wasn't.
Yeah, and despite
VC was saying that his Pico-8 entry was compo filler, and everyone is saying there were no compo fillers on that compo.
Yeah, not at all.
We don't believe you.
No, VC just has a very high standard for himself. Like his Pico-8 demo is going to be like a huge masterpiece when it finally comes out. Meanwhile, just compo fillers.
Yeah, I grabbed what we were supposed to have in our assembly summer demo and spent like 4 hours to 5 a.m. and got it done. So that's what I call a compo filler. It's good enough. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not something I don't not like. Let's put it that way. I enjoy it.
But in making demos, it's really important to find the part where it's good enough, so you can let it go. Don't try to make it perfect.
Definitely. And I knew I wanted 3 entries, so anything that's good enough was good enough to me.
Yes. Because if it's good enough to you, it's definitely good enough for us. For the combo. So all the demo makers, please remember this.
Truck felt like he was going to say something.
Well, I have a question. We haven't mentioned the shader showdown yet, or at least I don't remember anybody mentioning that portion
Let's
of it.
talk about the elephant on the table.
A huge elephant. I was there. I can tell you a little bit about it. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed Shader Showdown at Assembly this year. Yeah, last year was all right as well. The finals were a bit weird last year because both Nobi and
The
Exka
finals last year were epic.
So
epic was
yeah,
so,
you can call them epic. I think for Exka, it wouldn't be the word he would use to describe it. So
No,
this year it was better. I really liked the Evil versus Monsieur Soleil battle. I think that was one of the highlights of this year's Shader Showdown. The final was pretty good as well. Exka had those technical issues with the sound, but ended up delaying the whole thing. But I think the results was pretty interesting overall.
To be honest, we had the issues with the sound, not Exka.
Yeah.
Playing the right.
But I remember when we were doing the mic check yesterday, the tunnels were strobing with the white, which is what there should be. And today they weren't. And I just thought, whatever. I didn't pay any attention. I didn't pay proper attention. I should have said something when I noticed that they weren't.
Today we had an issue that we didn't have the DJ stream. We had an issue with DJ stream. So right when we set up that, we kind of forgot to test the FFT and went straight online.
And then Exka was like, my code is not updating. I'm changing stuff and it's not updating. Are you getting my code? I'm like, yeah, the light is green. We see you typing. It's just the balls aren't moving. So yeah, he was syncing stuff to FFT that were not.
Yeah,
but
it was our
we resolved the issue after a few minutes, and people got to update their votes before we closed the voting. So I think it went fine. I mean, technical issues happen all the time, so it's completely normal.
I did not get to update my vote.
You didn't update your vote?
I did not get to update my vote. I did not get a chance to, and I'm not happy about that.
God, Truck. Now the wrong person won because you didn't update your vote.
Yeah, because my votes are worth that much. No, I just really wish I could have actually.
The problem with live voting for Truck is that there is no 10 there. It only goes to 5. He wants to put 7 on everything.
Another part, yeah. Seriously,
5
with
out of
a lot
7.
of these things, I would really like to have a thing where you could just like, yes, this is worth a 5, but then it's like, yeah. This part here, I'm just really excited about. Just have a hype button.
It's like those guitar amps that go to 11, you know? Truck wants the 11.
Exactly like that.
Yes.
Exactly like that.
So we should have like 0 to 5 and then all the votes button.
Yes.
Why not just put it as a float number?
Infinity.
Yeah.
I'd actually like a logarithmic scale. I really would.
Let's leave Fibonacci serious as a voting scale.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm curious to hear the opinions of you other folks who were just watching the Shader Showdown. What you thought about it?
Anyone wants to? Aiming was watching.
Yeah, I was watching the stream actually today more than I was watching yesterday, because yesterday I was playing the DJ set behind the actual Shader Showdown. But yeah, it was amazing. And the moment I saw Extra type those FFTs in, I immediately noticed that, okay, maybe he didn't actually put them already to the shader code. And I probably should have said to the organizer chat something at that point when I noticed that, okay, hey, that's not maybe working. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Shader Showdown again this year, and both of the shaders in the finals were amazing, and better one.
Yeah, also I watched the Shader Showdown, and it was pretty intimidating to watch because I didn't know what was wrong with the FFT and the sound input. And I was just wondering that how is it going to change by time, and it didn't. But I was I was particularly happy with Monsieur Soleil's color pickings. They were pretty well working with both of the entries.
He has a very unique style. It's very interesting. Yeah. Like his semi-final shader was also very like luminescent kind of things. Like not. So I really like his shader coding style, I guess it's called.
Are the semifinals available online as archives now?
The video at least should be up.
Yeah, it's up on Twitch at least.
Okay, because I'd like to go back and see that. I didn't get a chance to watch yesterday, so I would really like to see that.
Yes, definitely. If you didn't see yesterday, watch yesterday's semifinals too, because that was amazing. Today was amazing, but yesterday was amazing as well.
Yeah,
like we
that's what happens sometimes in the Shader Showdowns.
Yes.
You'll have sometimes the runner-up things are just astounding, and something goes wrong, like an entire black screen for the entire thing during the finals. And it's not to say that the finals or that one round is better than another. It's just that's the way it goes when it's live, and it's really cool to see what people make in that short amount of time.
Yes.
And this again, I mad props to PS for the thing that's behind me here, the Shader Royale. That technique of doing it is a different take, and I really want to see how Shader Showdown and Shader Royale feed off of each other.
Oh, they'll evolve.
Shader Royale was real fun.
We're gonna try to do another Shader Royale at Hogmanay. I don't know how to say it anymore.
Sylvester.
Hogmanay party in New Year's. I don't know if it's on the last day of December or the first day of January. He's going to be around there somewhere, which reminds me I haven't asked Christina about our plans for New Year's, so I might have a bad surprise there. But we're planning to have another Shader Royale around related to that party. And I think it's going to be interesting, but I really would like to see Shader Royale also at the live party when we have live parties again. So I think it would be an interesting format as well. But I still like Shader Showdown itself, the format. I just thought that there were like some limitations in terms of first you have too many rounds sometimes. I feel like you have too many rounds and people start not paying attention. Also, the coders themselves seem to have to prepare for things that like they prepare for one shader, they don't prepare to do like 3 of them or something like that. So it's better if you only do like one thing. And also I feel like the 25 minutes were too short. That's what I wanted to do on Shader Royale, is like have some extra time for people to really polish their stuff if they really don't get kicked out right away. So that was my main thought process on coming up with Shader Royale.
Yes. I would really like to hear also opinion of Visu about the Shader Showdown and also the Shader Royale format, because I know Visu has participated lots of live coding things.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see again. I see Exca had the same problems that I have had before, so I think the audio thing is still a little bit too unreliable to my mind. One of the things I like about Shader Showdown is doing it live on the place, because then I can trust at least that I am transmitting the right thing and the visuals are what I'm seeing on my screen.
I do recall some Shader Showdowns where the audio response wasn't working properly on the computers as well. So,
so to me, kind of the last time I tried it in your test stream, that totally wrecked me, because I just couldn't rely on my frames at all. Didn't know what was happening on the other one. And I've often had the weird timer issue as well, where like this time is like 1,000 times slower on the server or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I had it before on my machine at least, and that was really annoying as well. So,
Truck was making a point that Shader Royale and Shader Showdown are like intro versus demo.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. And the other one is kind of like a marathon, and the other one is more like a tournament. So there's a difference there as well.
Yeah.
What I really would like to see is all these Shader Showdown shaders that are left in the end to get turned into 4K intros and 1K intros, because a lot of them are just put on shader toy and done, you know. Why don't you like get someone to do music in Forklang or Oidus and, you know, make something with beginning, middle, end that will win some other event. I mean, you already have the effect, you can improve the effect, you can do slight variations on it, build something upon that instead of just putting it aside as it's done, it's closed, never gonna touch it again.
Yeah. The last time I put a shader on Shader Toy, it actually ended up as featured on the front page, so that was a good idea.
That's also, putting shaders on Shader Toy when you do that is a good thing to do. I had one thought about Shader Royale and Shader Showdown too, because I've also participated both. So in Shader Royale, the real difference is that you have to have something on the screen all the time, something interesting. Whereas Shader Showdown, you need to have, like, you can still win the combo in the last 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's the...
Yeah. There's a bit of showmanship to both of them that's a little different.
So you need to plan the shaders. You need to plan your tactics very differently for Shader Showdown and for like Shader Royale, where you have these people like going off one by one. Because in Shader Showdown, you can trust for the wow moment of the end, but in Shader Royale, you can't.
Yeah. Something that
question
still
about
trying
that.
to figure out, like, if we should have like extra phases where you have like, okay, now we have 10 minutes where no one is going to get voted off and people can just, try different things without worrying that they will be caught with a black screen when people are voting.
Yeah, Truck.
I have a question for both Rimina and Vishu, because you both participated in Shader Showdowns and so forth. As you can use the FFT input, and as we saw today, using the FFT input, if it's not working, can be a problem. When you're planning what you're going to do you specifically leave that out of a Shader Showdown type thing because you don't know what the DJ is going to play?
No.
Or do you just risk it?
Usually when I train, I have the music on, same as with my VJ stuff. I always have FFT in, so I can toggle it whenever I want it, basically. Yes. So it's there if I want to use it, but I always make sure I have a variable that it's coming into.
Yeah, I do that too. For Shader Showdown, I don't really rely that much on the FFT input, but for the Shader Royale, I figured out that the FFT input is actually one way to make the scene interesting all the time, because it's kind of changing and reacting all the time. So in Shader Royale, it's actually beneficial to use the FFT.
Yeah, actually the participants this year behind the scenes, we had a little talk, and they asked, at least from me, that, hey, what type of music are you going to play, and can you give us an estimate what's the BPM going to be?
Yes. That's for
Flapine always asks
manually.
that for every shader. She types it right in the beginning, defines the BPM, and does everything based on BPM instead of using the FFT. So that's a known trick to use on Shader Showdown.
Also, if you just like you can, when you are on the spot like live event, you don't need to ask the BPM. You can just like sync.
Sort of feel it, but then you're like 10 off and it looks weird, so it's easier to just ask the DJ.
Yeah. But then
and
again,
then the DJ doesn't know what BPM he's playing at.
Yeah, DJ can change what they're playing.
Should have like a button that you can tap to tap your BPM in. We should do that functionality in Bonsomatic.
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest ways to get sync on both of my VJ tools. So I have one for
tap to sync. It works great.
And one for playing Resolume, and I just have space to tap in the beat, and that helps quite a bit actually.
I think we're gonna wrap up really soon. So I would like to have one last comment about this day, like summary of the day from all of you guys. And let's start from Solarius.
Well, it was a day of learning. I learned a lot about FreeDOS and then enjoyed the combos that I saw.
Okay. How about Base Cadet?
Oh, I'm looking forward to the old school competitions tomorrow. I'm glad that there were some good entries today, although there weren't that many of them, but still pretty good entries in total.
Yes. Visu?
I would just like to thank everybody who participated in the compos. and made such good quality entries, even if we didn't make it to the physical event, and to pay everybody's patience when we had some technical issues in the compo crew. So I'm just gonna make heartfelt thanks to everybody who still collaborates to the demo scene, even then when they're stuck at home.
Aiming?
Yeah, I'd also like to thank everyone who participated in the compos and in the actual production of making this whole thing happen. They went pretty fast, and lots of things got done, lots of problems solved, and I definitely had a blast shooting the juries and watching the compos, and looking forward to the next compos that are coming up, especially the old school and the PC demo. Those are going to be awesome.
Yes. PS?
Great day. I had fun casting the shader showdown stuff. Also, the compos were good. Were really short, but all the entries were pretty good. I missed the streaming compo earlier on. We'll have to check those later. But overall, I think it was a great day. I think it was a good idea that Assembly extended throughout the week the thing instead of cramming everything into a single weekend. So that was really cool. And thanks to all the organizers who put everything together. I know Assembly is a lot of work. A lot of pieces need to fit together, and you guys are doing an awesome job despite technical difficulties. You surpassed them, and that's what really matters. So thanks for that.
Yes. And then Truck. Any final words?
Can I do two?
Yes.
Please. Okay.
You can do plenty.
So I want to give mad props to T101 for getting the live voting working. It worked so well that I became upset when I couldn't start doing live voting instantly, and when I got cut off from it too quickly, because it's just that cool. It seems to work better than the other live voting systems that I've used. I don't know why. But yeah, that was awesome, and I know you had trouble with it yesterday, so everything with that seems to have been fixed. And the second thing I want to thank are the folks that watched the demo show. Most of the time when I'm putting together demo shows for Assembly, it's for a live crowd. And this year was different. And again, the crowd at Assembly is different. So I organize the demo shows for Assembly different than I do for other things. I generally try to put some fast-paced stuff right next to the old school stuff, because maybe it can be a little longer, and try to do that. But the feedback, I normally don't get feedback the same way. And the feedback that was coming from folks about the actual productions that we picked, and people saying, yeah, I need to see that demo again, or just asking where it came from and being able to tell folks, and then people would go and look at those again or get inspired by them. And then also talking about, other things like the drone compo and so forth that came out of that. All the feedback that came back from that was very, very beneficial to me personally. And I really want to thank the audience who tuned in. That really made made today so much better. And also thanks to Assembly for allowing me to do this again. We've had a number of years where we've been doing these demo shows, and I do look forward to doing them, even though they do take a lot of time. They take less time now than they used to. Well, maybe we'll start recording them ourselves again, because the YouTube captures, when we put them on the Twitch stream, that left a little bit to be desired. But, I'm now going on a little bit too long about the demo show. Thank you to Assembly for allowing us to do that, and also for allowing me to be on the stream again. I don't know why you guys let me do that.
Because we love you, Truck.
We love being interrupted, Truck.
Yes, and for me to put these things up so that pay attention to me. Okay, enough.
Yes. It was just magnificent. I can't even talk. Magnificent day today, and I'm really looking forward tomorrow. We have awesome intro compos coming. We have some music combos, some graphics combos coming up. So an old school PC competition. And tomorrow's Compostudio will be held from Vapriikki, Tampere by Scrolly. And yes, I'm also looking forward to actually watch that, not participate to it once. And then I'm also very, very much looking into the Saturday night's combo block, where we have the live Acid Madness with Tiersak, and after that, the PC demo combo. It's not showing track.
It's easier if you say it what it says.
I hope I didn't wake up my neighbors when I shouted that.
Yes, let's hope
It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
It's
not. Your time zones are all wrong. It's 10 p.m. 10:40.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are living way in the future.
Yes.
We are living way in
we
the future, and because we are living way in the future, we're gonna say good night now and see you again. Well, not tomorrow, but see you again tomorrow.
You'll see the stream tomorrow.
See you on the Twitch chat tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
And congrats to the Shader Showdown winner, Monsieur Soleil. Awesome battle. So good night in English. Ja jatketaan taas suomeksi hetken aikaa vielä. Meillä on yhteistyökumppaneita esimerkiksi pelitilojen kanssa. Ja yksi näistä tiloista on Espoon Olarissa Game Cave. Ja siellä on varsin innokasta porukkaa. He on tehneet ihan kaikenlaista aktivointia, muun muassa ihan oman biisin ja sillä musavideon, jonka he on julkaisseet tänään keskiyöllä. Mekin päästään näyttämään se tässä meidän lähetyksessä, joten käydään katsoa se nyt.
Ei liikaa stressiva, jotakin pielessä Espoosta puuttuu pelisali ja mä tein sen mun viereen. Suomen upei, laadukkaan ja kaunein mesta. Se on totta, ei olla ihan kokin luottamista. Ei iso rahoi, vaikka meidän kielsis ei oo mä eikä me, vaan ne asiakkaat ensin. Tehdään tätä rakkaudesta laji sinisen sävyyn. Kontentti on aito meitä ja sehän näkyy. Tuhansia tunteita takana, tunteet joita ei korvata rahassa. Rakkaudesta lajimiehet sanojensa takana. Jaetaan tätä rakkautta koneiden parissa. Tarjotaan puitteita parhaita Espoon parhaalla paikalla. Kun tuut peliluolaan sun taju räjähtää. Tää täytyy kokea tätä vaikea selittää. Meidän on huolet, täällä hävii huolet kokonaan. Tää on meille arkea, pelielämää vain 5 tuntia ja enempää. Hei äiti älä huoli, me puhuu koko Suomi. Ajo peleissä meidät haastat näkyy, vaan takavalot meidän tallissa ajaa legenda Mika Salo. Meidän luolassa pelit ja vauhti kiihtyy. Atte ja Lärvinen tietää miten jengi viihtyy. Saunotetaan sun firmas työntekijät ja kaverit. Ei me olla perus, vaan moderni pelisali. Jos CSS halut haastaa, niin ammu. Vastaan tulee todennäköisesti Allu. Tuhansia tunteita takana, tunteet joita ei korvata rahassa. Rakkaudesta lajimiehet sanojensa takana. Jaetaan tätä rakkautta koneiden parissa. Tarjotaan puitteita parhaita Espoon parhaalla paikalla. Kun tuut peliluolaan sun taju räjähtää. Tää täytyy kokea tätä vaikea selittää.
En tiedä, mitä mieltä te olitte tuosta videosta. Mun mielestä se on ihan huikea tuotantoarvo, tosi makea biisi ja hyvä meininki pojilla. Ihan selkeä hittivideo kyllä. Mahtavaa. Pelitilojen lisäksi meillä on muitakin yhteistyöstriimimeininkejä. Muun muassa ihan kuka tahansa on voinut ilmoittautua meille community-kästäjäksi. Ja nämä striimit me ollaan lisätty meidän nettisivuille. Eilen me käytiin tsekkaamassa yhtä niistä ja tänään me mennään katsomaan toista. Meillä on Nibeston, joka on community-kästäjä meille ja tällä hetkellä hän just on aloittamassa pelaamaan Beat Saberia. Hän ei tiedä, että me ollaan raidaamassa hänen Twitch-tiliään, mutta käydään vähän jakamassa Assembly-rakkautta ja kertokaa hänelle paljon terveisiä Assembly Onlineista ja nähdään me sitten taas huomenna aamu TV:ssä. Hyvää yötä.
Sinä hyödyt siitä, mitä Jims tietää. Jims.fi.
This is Jake. His data just leaked online. If Jake doesn't react, a fake Jake could ruin his life. Luckily, Jake has F-Secure ID protection, which helps him prevent identity theft.
Wow.